Hi, this is Coralla Ficklin at CorallaFicklin.com, and Coralla is spelled C-A-R-R-A-L-A. Ficklin is F as in food, I-C-K-L-I-N, or WelcomeNetwork.com. Welcome is spelled W-Y-L-C-O-M-E, network.com, or Explain.com. Explain is spelled ASKPLAIN.com, or the letter I studyguides.com. Let me say that for you again. I study cards. Excuse me. Almost spoke in Spanish. Excuse me. I study guides, not study cards. I study guides.com. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm continuing my discussion on pronunciation. But one of the things that I've tried to always do when I'm trying to learn another language, as well as when I'm teaching or working with someone who wants to learn, let's say, Spanish or French or English, I try to get the person, or I try to understand what is logical for that language. Certain things, once you get inside of the language, becomes logical. For example, to the normal English speaker, an accent really doesn't mean anything. But once you get inside, for example, Spanish, and you understand the purpose of an accent in Spanish, then when you see an accent, you understand, because now that you've gotten inside of the language, the logic of that language, you've gotten inside the logic of that language, that when you see an accent, you're automatically in touch with a lot of information. So, if I'm looking at the verb, and I'm talking about the verb hablar in Spanish, to talk, and I see H-A-B-L-O, and then I see H-A-B-L-O with an accent. So let me say that again, because I'm not sure that I spelled it correctly. I see H-A-B-L-O versus H-A-B-L-O with an accent. I automatically know certain things. Now, if I've never studied Spanish, if I've never understood the logic of Spanish, it would just say, well, one of the words has an accent and the other doesn't, but I really don't know why. Maybe in Spanish the accent is fancy and it's exotic. No. The H-A-B-L-O tells you it's the first person singular present tense, yes, versus the H-A-B-L-O with the accent tells you it's the third person singular past tense. Even the pronunciation isn't the same. Yo hablo or hablo español versus hablo español. Hablo español, I speak Spanish. Me habló en español, he spoke to me in Spanish. Because once you get inside the logic, it makes sense. But from outside, if you've never studied Spanish, it doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to get you to understand, or I'm trying to explain, because it's on me to help you to understand. It's not on you to understand me. It's on me to make myself clear, trying to explain the difference between, and I want to give an example here, the long U. I'm using, these are all, this is a metaphor, okay? The long U stands for other things, versus the diphthong OW. The difference between those two components in English, or aspects, or concepts in English. I'll do it again. The long U, but I could also use the long E or the long A as an example, versus the diphthong OW, but I could also use the short A or the short, I could use the S, or I could use the CH. Those two things, two aspects of the language, they're very important to understand. In the next video, we're going to look at what is the difference and why is it important to talk about it as far as English pronunciation. Because what I'm trying to do is to help you get inside of English, to understand the logic of the language. Because once you do that, certain concepts and ideas and certain ways of doing things in English, they'll begin to make sense. So once again, this is Coralla Ficklin at CorallaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com, ExplainAskPlain.com, and iStudyGuides.com. The next video we're going to look at, we're going to parse, we're going to get inside of the language, and we're going to look at what is the difference between the long U and diphthong OW, and why is it important. Okay, so next time, next video.